So in 2017, the same year I started the channel, I saw this guy Aaron Esser do this like Nerf gun series thing where it was kind of like video games in real life. And I wanted to do that. I had no ability to edit it or do any kind of effects or really do anything. But it did get me into like editing footage like a little fancier than just a plain cut vlog. And I guess that was enough to get me going. And obviously I and the channel and my abilities have changed quite a bit since the year 2017. It would probably actually be a good time for me to stop and talk about how much things have changed since then. So this image here that I have been showing to represent the channel back then is from 2017. So right there you can see a Adventure Time episode review series that I never really ended up continuing, and Zombie Island Resort episode 5 posted just a week ago. You can go searching for those episodes in my channel, but I wouldn't recommend it. You can also see that I had 10 subscribers, 355 views, and somehow even back then was still subscribed to Mr. Beast. My friend Robbie made me subscribe to him. Thank you, Robbie. I have had years of enjoyment watching Mr. Beast. Especially in the old days, man. That series he had of making fun of the stupid kids making dumb intros on the internet. And all his Bleach jokes were the bomb, bro. Perfect thing to end my summer nights back in 2016 and 17. So this next video is a fake commercial we made for the drink Fanta, which is a Coke product drink, which I genuinely liked back in the day, but we decided to just kind of make fun of it and say like, oh, it can peel the paint off boards. Oh, you want to get some corrosion off coins? Coke product. It looks to me that this was filmed at some point in 2018, but I can't really be 100% sure, just judging by how me and the boys looked in that video, and mostly by my own face structure. I think it's 2018, which would make me 16 years old. Here at Coke Products, we make sure that we make the best and tastiest drinks for people to enjoy. But also, we don't just make drinks, we make tools. We put tools in the heart of the working man. Not only does Coke product taste good, but also can be used as paint thinner. Need to get some paint off that board? Are you having problems with paint, dirt, corrosion on coins? You can get it off with the Coke product. Also, just a little fun fact about that footage. It was all filmed on an iPhone 5. This next video was filmed to pay respects to a series we had called Search for the Golden Apple. It was a Minecraft series filmed through 2017, 2018, and maybe into 2019? But basically, we were in a Minecraft survival world, we were supposed to find the enchanted golden apple, and we never freaking did. It was like the world didn't spawn any. It was weird. But in this series, Jacob had this joke of always watching me. He made like these little forts in the walls and weird hole things so he could like watch me through the walls and stuff. It was weird, but it was funny. It's been kind of a running joke between he and I until even now. Like, we literally just made this video the other day that was like, it was called LTC Inside the Creator or something like that. It was kind of a spoof on TLC shows like My 1,000-Pound Life or My Strange Addiction. So that only came out a few months ago, but it was a little bit higher quality than what you're about to see. Enjoy Mario Kart in your frigid northern cold.
Hey Brenda,
Yo.
I want you to remember something.
Okay.
I'm always watching.
So I guess after He's Always Watching, I got really tired of being on film and decided that maybe things would go better if I just stayed behind the camera. After all, I was the videographer of the group, and maybe my directing would go a little bit better if I didn't have to keep track of my placement and I could see clearly from way back where everybody else's placement was. I noticed that when I cut things together on film, people would change places. I would be coming at a door from the wrong direction, things like that.
This is Monopoly money. Come out now! We won't shoot you!
Ha! I find it kind of funny because it seems like whenever somebody says that, they still shoot ya.
So one day, while I was online doing something else, I managed to find somebody to criticize my videos, kind of give me some constructive criticism, as it were. And this person basically said to me, "It seems like you don't have the quality to make anything serious. So it might come out better in the long run if you did something comedic. That way the poor quality of your equipment can kind of lend to the funniness of it." And I decided, yeah, sure, that makes sense. And right at that time I was listening to a lot of horror videos on YouTube. Creepypasta, that sort of thing. And I kept thinking, man, this whole situation could have just been avoided if they had a 357 sitting on their desk. Sometimes you have issues where your doors in your home just seem to just drift open on their own. Well, I got a solution for you. Just nail it shut. So through the last 2 filming projects, which I just talked about, I started to understand how sound worked, and how I could edit it. Several of my gaming projects also helped me to figure that out. So, with all of that new knowledge in hand, I attempted Gun Games 3, and I know what you're thinking, where was Gun Games 2? That was pretty much a re-edit of old footage. Gun Games 2 was nothing new, so I didn't include it. But here's Gun Games 3. You can probably right away notice a huge improvement. Right after that, Jacob and his brothers took a serious interest in gun games. They wanted to make one, and I was super into the idea, so we decided to make Gun Games 4. I had a couple new visual tricks up my sleeve, a whole new list of sound effects, and a brand new GoPro ripoff. The thing was, it was a $40 GoPro ripoff, so you can imagine that video quality took a serious hit for that video. Also, the only place that I could get the camera mounted was my belt, so it was too low, and then when I had the gun that it could be mounted to, it was like at a weird position, and it would shake a lot. And of course the gun's action moving was like deafening. So sometime after filming Gun Games 4 with the boys, I kind of started to watch a lot of like short films, like horror films on Netflix and horror films on YouTube, and I became kind of inspired, so I started making notes to make one of my own. It wasn't that good, but we did alright. A lot of the videography was sound, got to try my hand at some pretty fancy editing with music and stuff to make a nice intro and outro to the whole thing. Me and the boys cobbled together a storyline, Robbie helped too, and over a week or so, we got everything filmed and our storyline put together. It ended up looking something like Gun Games with a storyline.
5-star hotel in Vegas the one time, so you can imagine my disappointment.
Well, you won't have to endure it for long, because first I'm going to go up and kill those children, and next I'm going to come back down and put you out of your sorry existence. But, for the meantime...
What came next was a lot of practice. I spent a lot of time practicing filming and kind of working ideas over in my head, trying to figure out, well, if I write this down, when we read it and try to bring it to a visual plane, what is that going to look like? My mind started to kind of open up a little bit. I started to be able to think in depth about what I was actually trying to convey to people through film. Around the same time, there was this strange emotional thing happening with me. I was kind of returning to my childhood a little bit. When I was thinking of all this stuff, it was like the middle of the summer, and I was having weird flashbacks to the middle of the summer in the year 2014 or 13. At that time, I was watching a fan-made Adventure Time series called Adventure Time in the Real World that was made by a bunch of kids. To me at the time, because I was way, way younger back then, I thought that they were like adults or something. But obviously to me now that I'm 21, I'm looking back at them and I'm like, wow, they're like 5. They weren't actually 5, they were like 12 or 13 or something. And the storyline of their series, it was unfinished, but the storyline was that Finn and Jake came to our world, and Jake's powers were stripped away. Finn was pretty normal, but Jake's powers got stripped from him, so he was just like a human with a dog hat on. So they kind of bum around for a day, find this house that's empty. They decide to like crawl up the porch and get inside the house, and then the family comes back from vacation, which we never see the family, it's just this kid Ben. And they run into Ben, and then they have these crazy adventures with Ben and deal with something with the Lich, and it was a whole thing. But at its base, it was a bunch of friends having a good time making a series. So ever since seeing that when I was younger, I was like 12 back in 2014, I always had it in the back of my mind that I wanted to do something like that. I wanted to bring Adventure Time to live action and make a story-driven series. People had done low-effort skits. They had done a 2-episode little series, like this little thing that was around back in the old times called Betwixt. It was like this alternate universe traveling thing between Ooh and Ah, like where Fiona and Cake are versus where Finn and Jake are. Definitely worth looking up. But it was different series like that that gave me some of my core ideas, but I knew I needed to make it better. I needed to make it more actiony. I wanted fight scenes and super cool stuff and like alternate universe timelines that I could go explore later. Like I wanted a serious series. So I did some testing of Finn outfits to see if I could make myself look decent, and there were a couple different variations there. But eventually I kind of settled on a look, and it was kind of the classic cosplayer look, but then I needed a custom hat. So I got the Finn outfit going, bought 2 of everything. Got Jacob and Isaiah outfits so they could be these scientist dudes. Got the outfit for this plague doctor vampire creature that Finn fights in the beginning. Got an outfit for a very human-looking version of the Lich. I would have loved to have done, like, a giant skeleton or something, but it has to be something that I can accomplish. Something I knew I probably could accomplish, though, was a very cool portal machine prop. Some special and practical effects. Some much better laser gun props than what we had been using, which was basically just spray-painted Nerf guns. And enough friends to actually get this thing done. My friends, of course, were Jacob, Isaiah, Jesse, Travis, Robbie, Elijah, and then some outside help came from others who weren't on film. Both Reese, or Reese is a Fish, whichever you know him as, if you know him, Torn Manthe, or Com Slasher, and my sister helped with script writing. And as well as script writing, Torn Manthe, or Com Slasher, helped to fashion and 3D print me some props, which was much appreciated. Com Slasher then mailed the props all the way to me in time to film. Thank goodness, we were cutting it close. Everything from Amazon and Etsy showed up on time. We had to reschedule the whole event once. Some scenes had to be filmed randomly on different days, but eventually, finally, the whole project came together, and over the course of a 1-week span in total, we filmed 5 episodes of Adventure Reborn, the first 5, which all went out through the fall months and the beginning of winter in 2022. Like I'm talking like a scale, like one side super broken and then the other side just like a tiny bit broken. Okay, right, so pretty broken.
Hello?
Hey, PB, how's it going? You waiting? Go get him.
Come along with me to a cliff under a tree where we'll gaze upon the water in an everlasting dream. And all of my affections, I give them all to you.
So this next video, and hopefully it's the beginning to a new series because I would like to film more of these because they're kind of funny, is the LTC short where Jacob is going crazy and watching me. It's kind of the continuation to the whole watching saga, kind of painting him as a psychopath, which he definitely sure is not in real life. I'm kind of sure. The jury's still out on that one. But I got to experiment in kind of a filming fashion that I've never really done before, kind of this short little choppy thing to kind of tell a story but leave a lot out, the way that like a TLC show does, to just kind of captivate you and go, what is this train wreck? What am I watching right now? I can't look away. Because with everything else I was filming, I was trying to make something captivating or beautiful or make it tell an important story, but this is just kind of like, it's cheap. Like, I guess that's all I can say, is it's cheap on purpose. It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick. We're gonna smash televisions with baseball bats.
You should be asleep for a little while. Now I can get my work done. You know, I think right here would be a pretty good spot.
Well, it's day 3 now, and things have been better. Not getting along the greatest. Tried to talk to him about some of his bizarre behaviors, and he kind of started talking about, like, digging in the walls. The walls aren't even, like, thick enough in this house for him to dig into.
Making a tunnel.
Now, anybody who watched the first 5 episodes of Adventure Reborn would kind of get the idea that it was over, that I wasn't going to do anymore. It seemed pretty final, Finn was back in his world, nothing was going on with the scientist bros, and that's kind of how I meant it to be. I had other ideas. I had more that I could have done. But I'm going to be honest, by the time that it was all over, I was tired of shaving my legs, putting on makeup and a blonde wig, and having to run around and put myself through strenuous activities. Which kind of makes me sound like a drag queen, but that's not what I was doing, I swear. When Elijah showed up on set, he showed up to play the part of the Lich, of course. He asked me if I was going through my femboy stage, so that was... But anyways, a year had passed, I was over it, and I was ready to don the outfit again. But one problem, I was kind of starting to show my age. You'll notice between images A and B here, I kind of started to show some muscle development and started to kind of fill out in the shoulders. So what I did was jump 2 years in the future and do a pretty big outfit change. With this outfit, I did my best to kind of mimic what everybody thought Finn would look like at the age of like 17 back in like 2014. If anybody remembers back then, there were a lot of very popular anime-style drawings of Finn the human at like, 17 to 20 years old. And in most of these, he kind of took on like a hoodie design with his hat instead of just the separated hat. It was like a whole hoodie jacket thing. So I thought people might like the look and I gave it a shot. Honestly, doesn't look too bad. Switched out my sneakers for some boots, kept the shorts, I think got a lighter shirt, kept the same wig, and switched out my custom Finn hat for a nice hoodie with the sleeves cut off. I could have kept the long white sleeves, but I felt like the white was going to kind of overpower the blue at that point. I also switched out the classic green backpack with an OD green mail carrier bag from like World War II. And then on the technical side, new camera, new microphone, and a whole nother year training in videography. After I wrote the script for episode 6, I knew there wasn't anything too crazy to accomplish there. So I decided that episode 7 needed to really push the budget. Lots of new locations, lots of new characters, lots of outfits, better camera work, more resources.
What is going on up there? Yeah, no idea. What the?
And that was our most recent project. But hey, just because I'm out of projects to show you and the video's over, does not mean we are done making stuff. So stick around, subscribe, like this video. And if you're hoping there'll be more videos just like this one, you are in luck because there's at least one more coming on how I make music videos. So at the least, you can stick around for that. Alright, thank you very much everybody for watching, and I will catch the next one. Thanks guys, goodbye.